This song was becoming a forgotten masterpiece, but it found a new life in Aurora, Illinois. This is how a Saturday Night Live skit took a Queen classic from the storage bin to cultural phenomenon and earned the band an award they had never won before. Stick around. To understand this tale, we first need to take a look at the rise of Queen. Formed in 1970, Queen consisted of 4 exceptional musicians: guitarist Brian May, drummer Roger Taylor, bassist John Deacon, and their flamboyant frontman Freddie Mercury. By 1974, they were already making waves with hits like 7 Seas of Rye, Now I'm Here, and this particular hit that I used to listen to on an 8-track. Remember those?
She's a killer queen, gunpowder gelatine, dynamite with a laser beam, guaranteed to blow your mind.
But it was their 1975 album, A Night at the Opera, that truly cemented their place in rock history. There are so many songs on this album that I could get into. Death on Two Legs, You're My Best Friend, I'm in Love with My Car, and another forgotten masterpiece, the Prophet song, which is over 8 minutes long, and I am bound and determined to make an entire episode about that song.
God give you grace to pass this place and peace all around, baby, about you.
But at the heart of the success of this album was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see.
Bohemian Rhapsody is over 5 minutes long. It mixes opera, ballad, rock, and despite the fact that it wasn't a radio-friendly song, it soared to #1 on the UK charts, and it reached the top 10 here in the US.
I mean, the record company, in their infinite ignorance, of course, immediately suggested that we cut it down, and so did our manager at the time. You have to take risks at certain points, and that was a point at which we decided to take a risk.
If we were going to go for it, you had to go for it. And we persuaded everybody else. Actually, probably Freddie persuaded everybody else, because you couldn't argue with Freddie once he got on a roll.
But by the late 80s, Queen's star was diminishing a little bit, especially here in the United States. While Queen's influence was diminishing, a new force was rising on television. That force was Wayne's World, a skit from Saturday Night Live created by Mike Myers and Dana Carvey that first appeared in 1989.
It's Friday, it's 10:30, man, it's time to party. Welcome to Wayne's World. I'm your excellent host, Wayne Campbell. With me, as always, is Garth.
You party on, Wayne.
All right, party on, Garth.
This skit soon became a fan favorite. Wayne Campbell and Garth Algar were 2 rock-obsessed young guys celebrating their love of heavy metal and classic rock. The skit came back again and again, featuring the likes of John Goodman, Madonna, Aerosmith, and even Tom Hanks as a roadie.
You're gonna do us a little bit of a demonstration of what you do on stage, right?
Yeah, okay. What I do is I make sure everyone's got their Evian,
Right.
and I tune their guitars, and I bring them out on stage, and I set up the mics, and I make sure the scarves are always in the right place. And then, the most important thing, I gotta do the sound check.
Check, check, check 1, check, check, sibilance, sibilance, check, check, check 2, sibilance, sibilance.
The popularity of the skit led to a movie opportunity in 1992 directed by Penelope Spheris, who at that point had never directed a comedy, but Mike Myers really liked her documentary work in rock and roll and fought for her to be the director.
The director, Penelope Spheris, who I fought very hard to be the director, even though she didn't have any comedy credits. She had done The Decline of the Western Civilization, a documentary about heavy metal that was so incredibly awesome and authentic. I knew that she would get the heavy metal part of it.
And I think, you know, there were very few other Hollywood directors that had any like heavy metal experience, you know, and Wayne and Garth are headbangers.
While the movie itself became a hit, one scene in particular would revive Queen's legacy and win the band an award that they had never imagined they would win. The now legendary scene with Wayne and Garth and all their friends headbanging to Bohemian Rhapsody almost didn't happen. The studio executives wanted a different, more contemporary song, but Mike Myers had different ideas.
What I remember most about this was fighting very, very hard for it to be Bohemian Rhapsody, and they didn't want to do it. They wanted to do Guns N' Roses, which I love Guns N' Roses, but I didn't have anything funny for it.
In his words, "I'm out. I don't want to make this movie if it's not Bohemian Rhapsody." Well, his gamble paid off, and it changed the legacy of that song forever.
Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has the devil put aside for me, for me, for me.
I just looked at the call sheet and it said Bohemian Rhapsody sequence. And I was happy because there was no lines that night. Do you know what I mean? It was like, God, I don't have to learn any lines today. And then it quickly turned into Operation Ben Gay.
Just make your head go like this, right? And after a while, I mean, we did take after take after take. Mike's going, oh, my neck is killing me. And Penelope, you know what? This is not very realistic. I don't really think that we should be doing this. And I'm going, Mike, please. It's very realistic and it's really funny. And after a while, it's like, could I get an aspirin? I'm really in pain here, you know?
By the time my close-up came, I didn't have the lyrics, so it became part of the joke that Garth is sort of lip-syncing to Bohemian Rhapsody, but just kind of going like this because he doesn't know the lyrics.
Nothing really matters. Anyone can see.
When the movie hit theaters in 1992, everybody connected with that scene, and Bohemian Rhapsody became a hit all over again, reaching number 2 on the Billboard Top 100, which is 7 spaces better than the number 9 it hit in 1975. Before I continue, I want to know, what other songs on this album do you guys love? There are so many great songs on this album that nobody ever talks about. Also, like and subscribe, please. It really helps the channel grow, and stick around to hear about the award that Queen won thanks to Wayne's World. What makes this story even more special is that Freddie Mercury, who died just months before this film was released, got to see the scene. Mike Myers sent over a rough cut of that scene, and Brian May later said that Freddie watched it and laughed and was just delighted that that song was gaining a new life.
You, Mike, did get me the tape, the videotape, which is a VHS or something, I think, and I took it round to Freddie not long before he went and showed it to him, because you know you said you want to have the approval. He loved it. He just laughed and laughed. He was very weak, but he just smiled and laughed and said, yeah, how wonderful is that? And he'd been known to say, look, you know, I suppose I have to die before we get America back, but you guys did it. You got us back to a new American public, and Freddie was very aware of that. So you should know, you know, that he got totally into it, and he went to the next place knowing what had happened and enjoying it.
The renewed popularity of Bohemian Rhapsody after Wayne's World is an extraordinary story, but it's not the end. The film earned the band an award they had never imagined winning before. That was an MTV Video Music Award.
It's very nice under any terms. It's kind of strange that it was mainly because of Wayne's World, like a comedy film. I think Fred would have seen the funny side of that, but it's very nice to just be appreciated again. Yeah, it's good.
I mean, it's only really in the States. We've never went away in the rest of the world.
Yeah, a lot of strange things happened in the States for us, but it's good to be back. Yeah.
At the 1992 MTV Video Music Awards, Queen won for Best Video from a Film. This was an accolade that they had never won before, or probably even imagined they would win. It was a bittersweet moment for Brian May, Roger Taylor, and John Deacon as Freddie Mercury died just months before this event. But it was a fitting tribute to the genius of Freddie and the legacy of Queen. So what's your favorite Bohemian Rhapsody story? Was the first time you heard that song in the 1970s when your older brothers and sisters used to blare it in their bedrooms like me? Or was Wayne's World the first time you heard that song? Please drop a note in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more behind-the-scenes stories from the world of rock, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.